Hi, this is Alan08, and I'm going to do a recap of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 9. The ladies are back in Potomac. Finally. I was sick and tired of them being in Austin. And some of the ladies are downloading someone regarding the Austin trip. Wendy to Addie, and Giselle and Ashley to Charisse. Karen tells Ray about her recent cardiologist results and said that she doesn't appreciate his lack of attention or annoyance, as if Karen is bothering him. Ray's excuse was he was running late, but Karen still insists that she should still be a top priority to him, busy or not. She says there's a 5% buildup in her heart, and although she can't do anything about that, she wants to do more to avoid more buildup from happening. And she tells Ray that she wants all the ladies getting along at her event dedicated to talking about surviving sexual assault. I feel like this episode is about, if it's not about health matters, then it's about, serious matter dealing with sexual assault. So this was a very heavy yet important episode. Mia, Gordon, Robin and Juan are doing some cooking as far as like couples thing that they're doing. Robin says that Juan's job search isn't doing too well. Mia says that Gordon wants to cook more since there's no one around to prepare their meals for them. So basically, they can't afford a cook or a nanny. And they're here to learn about making pasta from scratch. Juan's not doing too well with the preparations. And Robin at this point says well, Juan can definitely rule out becoming a chef because he's just not doing too well. Mia says that as therapeutic cooking is, she hopes that this event will help Robin and Juan come closer together as a married couple. Yeah, and if Juan stops cheating on Robin, it'll be even better. But that's to be determined. Robin tells Mia about the franchise she plans to open called Glow 30, which is a membership-based facial studio. And when I heard that, I couldn't help but wonder, what about her hat business? Did that go south or what? Well, we'll probably never know. Mia asks Robin what she thinks of the food in Austin. And Robin thinks that Austin has great food, and that leads to Gordon asking how the trip in Austin was. Mia wonders if Robin told Juan of anything about said Austin trip. Robin says that Juan does not like to hear about female drama. I think that's the case with most men, though. And honestly, I think that she was secretly hoping that there would not be a rehashing of the drama regarding Juan's cheating and the scandal at the school. And the look that she shoots, and the look that she seems to be shooting, Mia tells her, you might want to shut up about this, Mia. Let's not go there. Please, let's not go there. But Mia talks about the story anyway regarding Juan being with different women sounding crazy, and proceeds to ask Juan himself what happened. Robin is definitely looking none too happy. Mia, this is supposed to be couples being brought together. Why would you bring this up now? I mean, I get it. She's playing producer and shaking things up. But still, if you want Robin and Juan to be closer together as a couple, you bringing up this question is not it. And Juan asks, what is there to tell? Mia wants to know if Juan really put his credit card in for that one woman. And Robin is looking even more intense, as if to say, Mia, shut your damn mouth. Juan says he paid for the room. Juan says that the woman went to the casino. Her purse got stolen, which had her wallet in it, and cried because she couldn't pay for her hotel room. And because the woman could not get the money sent, Juan stepped in to use his credit card to help pay for the room. Mia mentions that it can be done over the phone and wonders if Juan knows that. Juan just says that he went to the hotel. Mia proceeds to tell him what to do the next time, and Juan interrupts, saying that there won't be a next time. And he's a grown man who made a mistake, and he owns up to it. Whatever you say, Juan. Mia, in her confessional, just wants to understand the dynamic, and she sees that his story matches what Robin says. Or maybe it's a story that Robin and Juan concocted together, because Juan, as long as Juan is with Robin, she does not care. And she's made it clear many, many times she does not care. But her breakdown in the van says different. So, anyway, Mia tells Gordon that she told Robin about what was going on with their attorney, and only because she felt Robin was somebody who could relate to what happened, because Robin and Juan went through the same thing. Now, if there was anything that brought these couples closer together, it was talking about that. Wendy speaks with her mother, Susan. And even though Wendy said that she wasn't sick, she chose to go to the hospital anyway. She had an elective surgery, complications happened, and she's better now. Wendy is inspired to tell her mother about the conflict she had with Ineka over whether or not her mother has a shrine and threw people's names in said shrine. Once Susan heard that, Susan heard that Wendy said that according to Ineka, Susan called Levy and said something about a shrine. Susan laughs it off as if it's all ridiculous to her. And really, Susan wanted to know who Ineka was. Like, who is this girl? Wendy also adds that Ivy, her sister, and Levy had a falling out because of this. Susan sees Levy as her daughter, and other people assume so from the way she latches on to the family. Susan only called Levy to make sure that she knows how hard it is to find a friend and how easy it is to make an enemy. And she had to ask Wendy a few times what her name was, the person that Wendy got into a conflict with. Wendy says during Ineka's phone call that Susan mentioned something about a shrine. And Susan says the only shrine she knows is the St. Jude Shrine in downtown Baltimore. And just like Wendy has said before, Susan has never met Ineka before, so she's wondering, like, why is she talking about this? Like, I don't know her. And if she had met her, the only thing she can do is pray for her. Why did I think that she would say something threatening? Because that's kind of what happened with, as far as Wendy's altercation with Mia. But anyways, Giselle and her daughter ride together, and they're going because she's taking her daughter Grace for some self-defense classes to help her prepare for when she leaves for college. Grace says that she's more than ready to go. Like, I am ready to go, spread my wings, be free, not be under you. And mainly, Giselle wants Grace to know how to defend herself, mainly from dangerous college boys, if she has to. Giselle admits that it's ripping her apart at the reality that Grace will be leaving the nest for college, and that Grace is her first baby. And I understand that, because that's how my mom and dad felt when I left for college for the first time. And she doesn't want Grace to get confused seeing her crying, because she's genuinely happy that Grace is leaving for college to achieve higher learning. Giselle gets right to it and asks Grace what her dating life will be like. And Grace admits that she does not want to be in a relationship, which Giselle is very happy to hear. She just said, you know what, just make some friends, chill out, and don't worry about having a relationship. Like, just chill out, just like herself, like she and Jason is. And at that name, Grace's eyes roll. Like, why are you bringing this up, Mama? I don't care for Jason. Giselle calls Jason to say hi, and she shows Grace her phone, which has Jason on her FaceTime, after marveling at his braids. Still not impressed. Candace is on her way to meet with Ineka, and and she speaks with her mother on the phone on the way there. And the only thing I'm going to say about what she said to her mother, that she's found 2 lumps in her breast and it rocks her to the core. I don't want to get too much into it because it kind of affects me of knowing that one day I might have to start getting mammograms, and it just scares me to know when or if that may happen to me, and I really don't want to scare myself thinking about this. So that's all I'm going to mention in this scene. Nneka and Candace meet at a restaurant. They talk about the conflicts and misunderstandings that transpired in Austin and before Austin, especially with Nneka and Wendy, and Candace with Robin. Candace says that in order for her to move forward independent of Wendy, there has to be hope for having a conversation. And that tells me that maybe Candace is still holding on to hope that she or Robin can have a conversation and come to a better understanding, but that's to be seen. While Nneka isn't sure about a resolution happening between herself and Wendy, she really does want to get to know Candace a lot better. And I think that's very nice. Like, they should get to know each other. Nneka feels that Candace and she could be friends much better if Wendy weren't in the equation. And Candace feels that she has to walk on eggshells regarding her building a friendship with Nneka because she worries about offending Wendy. But in all fairness, though, all Wendy asked was for you to not mention her name when you're speaking with Nneka and forming a friendship with her. And I think that's more than fair. Like, this is about you and Nneka. Like, leave Wendy out of it. Because you already know Wendy and Nneka are having their issues, so just leave it out. Just leave her out. Mia, on the next scene, Mia has been on edge about whether or not to go to Karen's event. And it's because sexual assault is a very touchy subject for her, since she's still grappling with unresolved trauma surrounding it. And she's not ready to talk about it. Next scene, at the PAVE event, Karen tells the ladies how she got involved with the organization, and she's holding this event to empower women to shatter the silence and shame of sexual assault. Robin, Candace, Ashley, Winnie, and Giselle give their brief accounts of their own experience, whether firsthand or secondhand, of assault. The performer singing her song proved to be too much for Mia to handle, so she excuses herself. Ashley goes to check on her. Mia confesses that the reason she left because she was reminded of something happening to her, and it involved her former friend Jacqueline. And it explains why she took a lot of anger out on her. While I can sympathize with her of still dealing with certain trauma that she felt regarding Jacqueline and her boyfriend and how her boyfriend made her feel, it still doesn't excuse her taking her anger out on Jacqueline. Like, she did nothing to add to your trauma. It was the boyfriend that did that. Now, while you could have asked Jacqueline to check her boyfriend on that, it still wasn't fair to take your anger out on her. And in the next scene, Giselle asks Angela if there's anything that she feels her daughter Grace needs to look out for once she's on the college campus, or if she should walk to class by herself. And on this, when I was in college, I had no problem walking to college all by myself. Now, I'm wondering if Giselle is referring to Grace walking to classes by herself if they're night classes. Then that I can understand, but like Angela's saying, that while it's terrible to think of the worst case scenarios, living in fear is not the way to go. And that's not how I wanted to go about it, because like I want the freedom of having to walk to my class by myself and not worry about a thing, or not even think about it. Because who wants to live with that kind of fear? So, and there were times that I had walked up around by myself in other scenarios, and I don't know how I got through it, but like God must have been watching out for me. But it's like, looking back on it, it's like God must have been having my back this whole time. But that's, yeah. Angela also points out that women are given natural gut instincts and women should always go with them if something doesn't feel or seem right. And I have to agree with her on that. And all Grace needs to do is just go with her gut feeling. If something doesn't feel comfortable or right with her, follow that. And Giselle says that she doesn't want neither of her $3 to be another statistic of sexual assault. And that's more than fair. Like what mother or parent in general will want that for their daughters? Nobody. So this is a very deep and serious episode. And like Giselle says, there has to be more conversations about this so that we can know better and do better. So this episode was all right. Not much conflict that I remember taking down. Mostly conversations, which is good. So. And that's my recap for this episode. And talk to you guys later. Bye.